Okay, what I'd like to do right now is take a look at how we can do some, well, we'll do this weather thing. But what's really interesting about this weather is the first thing I want to do before I even get into the source and all that kind of stuff is just show you what is going to come out of it. It looks like this, and I'm going to go to my screen, and there it is. So there's some things that you can see right away that you might be thinking, oh my God, Greg, what have you done to me? Um, it's really not that, it's actually not that hard if we break it down. So I'm going to copy this. Actually, I'm not even going to copy it. I'm just going to leave it as is because we'll take a look at what this object is in just a second. But you can tell that it's a JSON object from the beginning because it starts with curly brackets. It doesn't start with square brackets. If it started with square brackets, we would know we were getting an array of JSON objects. But instead, we're getting one JSON object, and that JSON object we're able to turn into, we're able to pull this data. So we can look through it. What we see is the latitude and longitude. So I used Baltimore City, and I'll show you how I did that. What time was it? How long did it take to make in milliseconds? What are the universal time code offsets? What's the time zone? What's the time zone abbreviation? In this case, it's Greenwich time -4. What's the current elevation of that location, which is the center of the city? It's only 29 feet. And then we have some things about hourly units. Um, we have, what do I mean by hourly units? What I mean is it's telling us that the time is a standard, the temperature comes in Celsius, the relative humidity comes in percent, the precipitation probability comes in percent, and then here's our hours, and then here's the part, these are the times that it's going to use. You can see this is an array, right? And then you can tell it's an array because why? It has a square bracket. I know it's really small. It's right here. So we know that it's square bracket. So so time is an array. And as we scroll down through our data, we see that the temperature every 2 minutes is also an array, and our relative humidity every 2 minutes is also an array, and the precipitation probability is also an array. And I bet if we were to take the time to go through and count this one, and this one, there would be the same amount of items in the array. This is not great data management on behalf of our 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 website serving to us, but we're going to end up having to work with it. So what website is serving it? It's called openmateo.com or meteo.com. Sorry that I don't know how to pronounce that. My neighbor's name is Mateo. And um, it's free for non-commercial use, which is perfect for us. All right, so I'm going to try the way I did this was I went to try the API here, and then I went here to location and time. And what you're seeing is somewhere, looks like, I think this is Greenwich Mean Time, meaning this is like, this is England. This is probably London right here. I can also pick from a list, but I just want coordinates. How can you find your location? Well, right now what we can do is we can just say latitude longitude finder. I'm using latlong.net, and here you can actually type a city in. I'm gonna type Bloomsburg, PA 17815. That is where I went to college. Hit find, and so I have my latitude and my longitude. I can go back. Get rid of that. I can go back to here I didn't copy anything. I should have. My latitude, 41. Paste. Get my longitude. Copy. Paste. Time zone. We're going to go with time zone not set, just for fun. Forecast days. Just to make it a lot easier on ourselves, we're going to make it 1 day. We're going to get just the temperature in 2-minute increments, I believe. Let's actually do 3 days. We have lots of options we can pull from this weather data. And we have different options here, which is lots of fun. Okay. Pressure is that what I want? Do I want temperature, pressure level variables? Nah, we're not gonna do that. Okay, anyway. I can also pull sunrise and sunset, for example. And I can pull the maximum and minimum. It says it. I really should have a time zone, so I'm going to set it to America, New York. Okay. I'm looking for how to convert it from Celsius to Fahrenheit. We may have to do that ourselves, and that's totally fine. I'm not opposed to changing what the rest of the world uses for the U.S. Okay, so I have all this. Oh, there we go. Fahrenheit. Wind speed, miles per hour, precipitation, inches, etc. Okay. So as I made all of these changes, what was happening way down here, this was adjusting. And so this is what we're going to copy. And if I paste it, and what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. Sorry. Copy. Paste it. And so now we have our different latitude. We are pulling, you know, the time zone, whatever. That's fine. We see that our hourly units are in Fahrenheit because that's all we're doing right now is temperature. And then we have some different times throughout the day for 417 at 11 a.m., 417 at 4 p.m. We actually have a lot of different times here. Okay, so let us then figure out now how to use this data. Okay, so let's use this data. So we're going to go back to Visual Studio Code. I'm going to create a new file called weather.html. Now remember, every time we make a file or do something with a file, we have to upload it to our server because the APIs will not work while running locally. Okay? All right. So let's create our HTML page, our basic HTML page. All right. And then let us set this title up as weather example. Yes, weather example. All right. Save that and put H1 forecast and then go from here. So this is where we have to start figuring out our data. All right. So our data, which is a mess, and I will not deny that, has, like I said, latitude, longitude. It has all these different things. But it has the hours. And so this is essentially, and it has these times. Or I should say, this is the hourly forecast, which is the JSON object dot hourly. And then within dot hourly, it is another object. So there's dot hourly, there's dot time, and dot time is going to be an array. Dot temperature underscore 2 meters is going to be an array. And so we can get that first. And then daily units, we actually know those. But the dailies, so this is hourly pieces of data. This is daily pieces of data. And it has a time, 1, 2, 3, 3 days. And it has a sunrise, 1, 2, 3, and a sunset, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then it has a temperature maximum, this one, this one. So we're going to end up trying to work with just these dailies because I think that'll make a lot more sense than seeing what the weather will be in the future. But all of this will work. It'll all be the same kind of thing. So let's get started with just getting data and bringing it back and then manipulating it from there. All right. So I am going to create a new, I'm going to create a weather.js. I think that's going to make it a lot easier for us to keep all our stuff together. But I am going to go in here and I am going to copy and paste my fetch just to get myself started. All right. And next I'm going to go back to here and I'm going to get this address. This was the one that Open Medio gave us. So let us get that started. That is great. So instead of this address, I'm going to use this address. Has a much longer address than what was there. I have to put it in quotes. Great. Okay. Now it then gets the response, pulls the response down. And what I've been doing, right, I was doing this whole get element ID. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to console.log data. So we're just going to see in the log what data is pulled down. And it should give it into a format that's going to be easy for us to decipher as we're looking at it. And it's going to be just like some of the other stuff that we've done with object notation and objects last week. It should be pretty straightforward. I have to pull this in head. Script. What? Script source equals weather.js. See, I'm trying to make things go too quick. And then next is, I also want to defer that. All right, so let's go ahead and run this, but first we have to upload it to our server. So weather here. Okay, there should be nothing here, but if we go to develop and we go to our console, okay, we're nothing. Let's try it again. Ah, here we go. Can you see that? Yeah, not as well as you probably should, but so if I turn this, we can see that the object returned has an item called daily and daily units, which we're not worried about right now. And we're not really worried about hourly, but we have hourly there. So let's go ahead and just mess around with daily. So it looks like we have a daily, and then in daily, of course, as I mentioned earlier, it has a sunrise, and that sunrise is in time, as a time. Sunrise is an array. of days 1, 2, and 3, and sunset is an array of 1, 2, and 3. The temperature maximum, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3 for minimum. So how can we put this, how can we get this data out? Let's go to our code. Let's make a space for, let's say, H2 tomorrow. H2 the day after tomorrow. It's a terrible name. And finally, H2 the day after the day after tomorrow. All right. So we have that. We can load our. I didn't upload it. Okay. Now let's get some code in here. We can see our stuff we need to use. So we need to get, essentially what we need to do with that then is we need to isolate this daily. Okay. So how are we going to do that? That's a great question. It's going to be in the JS. All right, so we've outputted all of the data. Now let's do this. Let's set before we do anything else, let's do some global variables. Why am I doing a global variable? I'm doing a global variable so that we can get to it pretty easily from all of this stuff. So I'm going to say let today. How about we just do let tomorrow equal nothing. Let day 02 equal nothing, because we're going to probably use these in just a second. Let day 03 equal nothing. And I'm going to change that to day 01 for consistency. All right. So what we're going to do is we're now going to say, last thing I'm going to do is let max temp array equal blanks. Let min temp array equal blank. Let sunrise array equal blank. Let sunset array equal blank. All right, so now we kind of have some things set up there for us. Why are we doing that? We're going to do that to make it a little bit easier to set some things up. So for example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say max temp array equals data dot. Now, what is it? What is the data dot? It's data dot daily dot. Now we have to look at our code. Or better yet, we go here, data.daily dot max temp. Okay, data.daily dot temperature 2M I'm going to copy and paste this to mmax, which is an array. All right. I'm going to get rid of this console.log. And instead, I'm going to do we're going to just display max temp array. I will now copy my files over. Great. Go to my page, refresh. And you can see here at 558, I'm going to unpreserve the log, refresh. Okay, so what it did here is it gave me 60.3, 74, 79.4. So I know that that's my max temp array. Okay, which lines up with down here, where is it? Sunrise to max. Yep, and it's 59, 74, 79. So perfect. All right, so we have some data. Let's do the same thing for all of them. Min temp array. This is min, I believe. Let's do sunrise array. I think this was sunrise. We should really look at our data source. A lot of times what you'll do is you'll actually have a printout or something on your screen that you use for your data source so that you're able to just refer back to that, to not have to constantly go to some kind of crazy website with really poorly, yeah, sunset, sunrise. Okay. So it's a little bit easier for you, especially if you're working on the same data sets all the time. And finally, sunset array, and it is sunset. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different arrays that all have the same amount of items. Again, really weird data management, but we'll take care of it. I could take the time now to... What can I take the time to do? I could take the time to merge these all into one object, but we're going to wait for that. Right now, we're just going to take the easiest step. All right, in my weather HTML, I need to have this tomorrow, and we'll do P sunset. And so that example we saw before, we did a span tag, ID equals sunset 01. Loading. Let's put that on all of them. Now, if I really want to be nerdy, I'm going to do sunset 00 because, of course, arrays are done 0 indexed. So now let's do sunrise. I'll put that first. Rise 00. And so we'll save, copy and paste these and make the adjustments we need. Programming is a lot of copy and pastes. Change this to 01 and change this one to 02. Okay, so now I'm going to go to weather and I'm going to say get document dot get element by ID. What ID? It's sunrise 00 dot text content equals sunrise array 0. All right, let's move our files. And there we have it. Now, we'll work through what this means in just a second, but we were definitely able to. That's kind of cool, actually. So let us take a look at a faster way to, or let's just get this all taken care of. I'm not going to do a faster way yet. We're still doing the whole other thing. Sunset equals sunset array. And we can do that for all of them. Now, what I'm hoping you're looking at this and saying, like, wait a minute, Greg, if you're just going to copy and paste and change that to a 1, and 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 you're going to paste again, and you're going to go, that's a 2, that's a 2, that's a 2, that's a 2, that's a 2. That seems really ridiculous, Greg. We're using a computer. We can clearly make a loop that does all of this for us. And I would say you're correct. We can make a loop, but let's just make sure it works first. And it did not. So let's figure out why that did not work. So I don't think I actually set those. I did set those IDs up. Sunset sunrise 01, sunset 01. Element by ID that calculates was sunset array 0, sunrise array, sunset array, sunrise away. Because I didn't upload them to the server. Man, it's always something. All right, let's try it now. Refresh. There we go. So we can find out the exact sunrise, sunset of each one. So we're gonna stop right here, and then we're gonna come to our next video, and we're gonna work through more of getting that data into this forecast for us, and go from there.